living a lifestyle and not a death style. I do want to touch on a few little topics, and that would be basically understanding Greek mythology and how it is still placated in today's society. And the story I do want to touch on is the story of Medusa. Now, some of y'all may know the story Medusa has. She had this snake, her hair made of snakes, and what she represents is, if you know anything about trigonometry or any, I guess you could say higher courses of math, like pre-calculus, calculus per se, then you know what a sine wave is. And when you look at Medusa's hair, you see that it makes a great sine wave. So, you know about periods and amplitudes, and basically the trough and everything like that. You'll know about what a sine wave looks like. It's like pretty much like a squiggly line, basically. So she represents the story of Eve. If you subscribe to these stories, I'm just using this as a teaching tool. So she represents the story of Eve, and so in the religious text in the Bible, you see that Eve supposedly commits the first sin. Did you catch that? Sin. Sine wave. So Medusa represents the first sine wave, and therefore Adam would be the co-sinner. So therefore, the feminine principle was sine, but the masculine principle would be cosine, or the co-sinner. So Adam will represent the co-sinner. Now, we are made up of what? Atoms. So therefore, from a Western perspective, just by being born, you are Adam, or therefore you are a co-sinner. And, sorry, stuff in the road there. It's real out here. I could delete that out, but I think I'm just gonna leave it, let it be real. It's real life out here. But anyway, there's a tire in the road and somebody hit it and they actually hit the car. But anyway, so just by being born, from a Western perspective, say you're a sinner, you're born into sin. If you're born into something, that means it already existed. If you're born into a royal family, that means the royalty already existed. So, to be born into sin, therefore sin already existed. So, Medusa represents the sine wave, and you represent the cosine wave, being a co-sinner. Now, what keeps you in this so-called sin mentality or sin state are the negative habits that you have, which you call vices. And a vice does what? A vice binds your spirit so it can't evolve. A bind is a binding mechanism. So when we get very patriarchal, we may join the army and say we're a soldier. So, and this is basically an etymological lesson here, so you can kind of follow what I'm saying here. A soldier is a what? Look at the word. A soul dyer. Someone who soul dies for someone else's cause. So you assassinate your own self for someone else's belief or someone else's fantasy or utopia. So you become a soldier, a soul dyer, a soldier. So look at these words, look at these stories, and then relate them back to, you know, modern day, so you can understand what it is you're looking at, because these things don't change, they just continue to express themselves in different ways. When you hear about these stories about Satan in the Garden of Eden, these types of stories, to be cast, they say he was cast on his belly, but to be cast on your belly means you had legs at one point. So what do you call a snake with legs? It's a dragon. So a dragon likes what? A dragon represents a monster or some type of basically like you know, Chinese people, what they call it, Chinese New Year, they use the dragon and things of that sort. So it's used in a lot of different cultures. But what they don't tell you is that they get the word Dracula from that. The word Dracula comes from the word dragon, which represents Satan. So let me cut this video short because I'm actually getting a call. But remember, this is lifestyle, not a diary. Sorry, it's kind of tacky, but I'll catch up with you guys later.